What you looking for? Okay.
The show intro.
What you mean? It's at the top.
No, it's not.
What
It's
intro
not
you
shit.
made one? Yeah, it's at the top, bro.
No, it's not, man. That's the
Why would
game.
it? Why would it be at the fucking bottom, bro? What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, man. Bro, we live talking shit.
Oh damn, my bad. Oops. Oh
Hold up.
look, show intro.
There
I
we go.
found it, Cam.
There we
Right
go.
there. Minute 45, right there. Welcome.
Tell me I ain't got no bangers, bro. Tell me I ain't got
We be vibing. We be vibing up in here.
Tell me I ain't got no bangers, bro. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Because
We got beats for days.
judge how good the intro music is by if you bob your head or not. If you be like, what the fuck is this shit?
So you be judging if it's good or not based on my reaction.
Yeah, if I know it's hitting like that,
bro.
I know you
that
like
one you had a few weeks ago. I don't know if it was 84 Monk or whatever. It was like that 80s vibe one. That shit was like slapping too. That was good.
Yeah, that's that Mercury, Zonka, and Kit, boy.
Mm-hmm.
That's that greatest tailback. I should call that shit. Greatest backfield or something. But I was like, nah, we're gonna give them some love, all of them. So I was like, yeah. But like I said, man, like I said, if you've been watching I guess like Instagram or whatever, because I upload it on YouTube, but it don't do that well, not all the time. So I'll be like, I just keep it like personal on there, right? And just grow like both of my Instagram and Facebook accounts. But like I said, every time I upload like one of those, I guess you say clips and reels of like certain players or whatever, right? Every song has to fit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
it has to fit the vibe.
Yeah, like I can't put video of Brandon Jacobs on a Taylor Swift type beat. I can't do that. It doesn't fit. I'm sorry.
Or you get like a Warren Moon with like a heavy metal vibe.
Yeah, like I mean, sometimes you could do that, but it ain't.
Yeah, but you gotta nail the era though.
Yeah,
you gotta nail the era.
So like I said, I know a couple of them are doing pretty good. I know the
you got a couple 3,000 streams too.
I got a couple albums with 3,000 streams.
Congrats, very, very good job. So if you guys want to check it out, go on Spotify and search Cam Groves, but there's no space in between. Just search just like that, and you'll see him with a pair of headphones on his head.
Yeah, that's supposed to be me. That's supposed to be me. But yeah, man, we got a couple albums with 3,000 on it, man. So that's volume 3. Surprisingly, I definitely didn't think that was gonna do that.
Dude said like a month or two ago, he's like, hey, like I think I'm gonna take a break for next year. I'm like, nah, I got you, bro. I'm gonna send you some more names. He's like, okay, well, we good until like 2027 now.
Yeah, speaking of that, I actually like submitted them into my distributor like yesterday, like because it was like a bunch. It was like a draft. It was all in the draft. So I was like, well, I mean, shit, I might as well just do that, and then I can officially, I guess, start over or whatever. But I don't know, man. I was just I was chilling at first, right? I was chilling. For real. I was chilling. Like, I want to say after like volume 4, I was like, I don't really feel like doing no more volumes or whatever. So I was like, what are we gonna do like afterwards? Because I said those only had like 10, 12 songs and shit. But I was like, what the hell? So, but now we got a bunch of projects, bro. We got a bunch of them. Yes, sir. What's good?
Let's go.
Chairman of the board. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's 3 of us on there, so that's true. But we flex with the homie, man, for real, man. Hey, Andrew, I hope you like that Steve Barkowski video, bro. That was pretty cool to make. I ain't know dude had his game like that. So I was watching it, I was like, yo, this dude got cannon, bro. He was throwing that motherfucker like, whoop. Like, I mean, he was taking the top off the defense, bro. He was like, yo, fuck Nicola Diamond, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Like I said, man, it's something to say about drafting a guy. And we can get into it like later. That'll be like one of our segments to that. But like when you draft a guy, right, and your team is bad, bro, and he kind of is the missing piece, of like, oh, okay, we have an inconsistency at quarterback, all right, then we need to draft that guy. You know what I'm saying? Because if you draft the right quarterback, right, you can be good for a while, right? You don't have to look at another quarterback for the next 10 years, like the Colts did with Peyton Manning, right? They never had to look at another quarterback, and even when he had that neck injury, they still didn't want to take one. They was like,
it's the same thing with Andrew Luck before he hung him up. That wasn't even an option, So I mean, if you hit on the right guy, it'll pay dividends for you in the long run.
But think about Elway, dog. They ain't look at a quarterback.
Look at Marino.
He retired. Marino, he played until 2000. So I mean, Aikman was there for a while, So you gotta if you have the revolving door around quarterback position, you probably wouldn't win it. The only one that did that shit was Joe Gibbs with the Redskins, and he
3 different quarterbacks.
I knew that would get him. I knew it would because he does not like that.
If you guys want to check him out, he's live every Thursday night too. If it's not just sports, they do debates, they do rankings like food, movies, all kinds of cool things like that. So check out College Sports Villains.
They the kings of off-season content, bro. Like Andrew will make content out of anything. I was like, I would have never thought about doing food.
Villains the podcast. Check them out every Thursday.
Yes, sir, man. So, but yeah, man. So we good on the music tip right now, man. So I'm trying to see what's next with that, because we got it all. Got perfect.
Have a portfolio.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I got a
And we're thankful for you as well.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I got a project. I was just fucking with, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we'll start the show in a minute, but yeah, look,
We're not getting into the restaurant business, okay? So I'm shutting
no,
you
we're
down.
not getting to that restaurant.
Okay, I'm just letting you know.
But we'll get into the show in a minute, man. This is a podcast too, so like we talk about shit as well. So, but I had a project I was fucking with, right? And I was like, damn, this shit's slapping, man. Like I gotta figure out how to do this, right? So initially, I wanted to release it before the Game of Inches, right? And I was like, okay, well, I can't do that. It was something that they pushed back on. They pushed back on the album. Yeah, I think it was. I didn't even eat. So what are you talking about? We got a race between me and my son who eats the food fastest. I don't know why he wants to do
or
this.
the bacon bandit.
No, the bacon bandit don't eat that fast. Surprisingly, he steals fast, but he doesn't eat that fast. Right? He's got other things on his mind. Right? He'll eat something and be like, "Huh, I want to play on my phone. I don't really want to eat." Right. But the other one, he be trying to race me, but I didn't race today because I didn't eat nothing. So he's like, "Oh, I beat you." I was like, "No, you didn't, because I didn't show up to the race."
You don't win by default.
But man, I guess so. I guess he's like, I won. He didn't show up. Nah, but I was messing with it. I was like, man, it's cool because I was going for, like, I was trying to do something with some punk rock, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I like this shit too, man. So, but it came out right, and I was like, I need a name for it, man. I was like, yo. So I put it out. You'll see it. You'll see it in a minute. Because I don't think we talked about this project. I think I showed you everything else, right? But I don't think I showed you this one. So I was like, I gotta put this out somehow, right? So I put it out on my mom's birthday, right? So I said, I got a project for you. And she's like, you got a project for me? Yeah, on your birthday. And she's like, you got a project for me on my birthday? I was like, yeah, let me show you. He's like, you better not talk about no damn music. I was like, no, of course not. And of course I would. And she's sitting there like, and then she was sitting there like, she's like, oh my God. I was like, she's like, is that the name of it? I was like, yeah. And I already got the promo ready for it. So
Oops.
ain't no changing now.
No going back.
No. But I did after that, I do put like a month in between releases though. Like literally like 30 days in between releases. So I could really kind of focus on like really making that good promo. Kind of like you be doing with the commercials and stuff. That's kind of what I sent you yesterday. That's
Yeah, I
kind of
love
what I
that.
was.
We got a new commercial we're gonna show today too, by the way, for you guys. So definitely check out all the other guys on the commercial when you guys see it.
Real man, but
the stuff he sent me, it's pretty cool though. Now that is what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah, we've been doing good. We've been doing good. The subscribe viewers are up, man, and that is what we want, man. Like I said, you go get the 9 subscribers. That's what it is. Man. That's not.
No, but 15%, it's really good.
Yeah, man.
That's not bad.
We clowning right now. So show's gonna be a little different today. It's gonna be more of a, I guess you'd say, banter if it would like to go.
No.
So we're gonna start off with our NFL stuff today, right? No college today, man, because we got the Super Bowl next week. So why the fuck will we talk college? That shit is over with. Over with. We're in the off season. Bro. Just ain't
do. Good graphic, by the way.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're going to break down. Was that Super Bowl 60?
Super Bowl 60.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Damn, I feel old, bro.
Damn, man.
I remember Super Bowl 50. I remember Super Bowl 40. I remember Super Bowl it's been a little while, bro.
Nah, damn, man. See, that's why I miss my grandpa, man.
He'd be like, all you
had to do was wait another year, right? And he would have seen all 60.
He said, I done seen all them Super Bowls.
Yeah.
I asked him about Kelly Marino. He's like, no, Marino, but Kelly went to 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah, I was like, I was like, I better listen to him, man. Marino was cool, but Kelly still went to 4 of them things in a row. Okay, like that's tough, bro. If you're gonna say anybody is better than Marino, like maybe Kelly, bro, because shit, he literally had to go through Marino at some times, so. Like, he had to go through Marino. He had to go through Elway, right?
But this is a very underrated matchup. Like, I feel like it's not really getting its due and appreciation. I feel like a lot of, and this is me being biased, I just feel like both sides aren't really getting proper due, if you ask me. I think it's kind of leaning more towards one side than the other, but
I think it's right down the middle.
Not from what I've been seeing.
I haven't seen much banter like, this
between fan bases, no. But like when I put out, like I did a post earlier, it got like almost 200 likes, and the stuff between the two fans was pretty crazy.
It's probably the Patriots fans, bro.
Nah, it was Seahawks.
Y'all can be mad annoying sometimes, bro.
No, it was people saying like the Patriots are gonna get smoked and the Seahawks is like a shoe-in. That's like what a lot of it was.
Ah, man, I don't know. I don't know, bruh. I don't know if it's gonna be that. I wouldn't be that confident.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I wouldn't be that confident about
Super Bowl. Anything can happen. Look at freaking the 2013 Broncos. Like, damn, they're the number 1 offense in history. Everybody's like, the Broncos are gonna freaking boat race the Seahawks, and the Broncos drop 8 points to Seattle's 43. So I don't think anything's a shoe in a Super Bowl at all. It's just like when the Rams had played the Patriots. The Rams were an overwhelming favorite by a lot, and things happen.
Don't remind me. Nah, but over time, I've come to like watch those highlights of that Super Bowl, and they just, oh shit, my bad. Oh, I do some promo, man. My bad. but
oops.
But I've come to watch that, and I'm just like, man, y'all got it, man. That's all. Y'all played a brand of defense that was just like, it was just sticky, man. Like when you shut down literally the best offense at that time, bro. I don't know. It just was. It was. I played a sticky brand of defense, but I will say that once Mike Martz took over, the creativity wasn't there.
It fell off after that too. The whole shit fell off after that game.
Yep. So we had some playoff runs after that.
Yeah, but it never had the same mystique.
No, you're right. And like I said, and that's just. You know what I'm saying? It just came at the time where most teams that kind of have that explosive burst of like winning, when they have like a good mix of veterans and young guys, right? And if you think about that stretch, right, the younger guys were about to start getting paid around 2001, 2002, 2003, right? So you got to pick who you want to do it and supplement those players.
You can't pay everybody, and you have to have backup plans. Like you have to have either really good depth, or you really have to have a good game plan going into the draft. If you swing and miss at both of those, you can be hurting for a while.
We swung and missed at free agents. We swung and missed at the draft. We swung and missed trying to sign people, like re-sign people. We re-signed the wrong people, you know. Like we let Drake Blythe leave and go to, I think, Detroit, and then we let Dexter McLeon go with Dick Vermeil to Kansas City. So those were two of the best corners at their spot. So, like I said, now you end up getting Adam Archuleta later, right? And that was cool, but you didn't surround him with nothing. He had like 130 tackles.
So y'all still had Aeneas Williams at that time too.
Yeah, but he was at the end. Like he wasn't the same dude that was shutting down the Cowboys in the playoffs. Like Aeneas Williams was a little older, but he could still ball. But I would have loved 1998. Aeneas Williams instead of 2002.
4, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so that's all I'm saying. But still good play, bro. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. So we got a cool matchup here, man. Like I said, I remember the last time these two teams played in the Super Bowl, man. And let's just say you should run the football. You gotta bell cow. We all know how politics plays in sports sometimes.
Do we want to touch on that game at all, or just to kind of give some history?
I mean, it was a good game, but I mean, I thought there were a lot of good catches in that game.
They had us on the ropes, man. Like they were running the ball efficiently, and then going down the stretch, like you had Baldwin, and I forgot that one guy. He was working out a freaking Foot Locker one week, and they brought him in, tall black guy. I forget his name. But
you talking about Curse?
I think so. I forget. But they had us on the ropes. And I remember going down to that last drive. They're driving, they get within inside the 10. They get to the goal line. I mean, the automatic nod is like, you're going to give it to Marshawn. Marshawn's going to push it in the end zone, and Seattle's going to win the game because it was too late for New England to do anything with that. And I remember Russ was in shotgun. And I'm like, he's going to hand the ball off. Well, I see him snap the ball. I'm not thinking anything of it. So everybody's okay, whatever. And I'm like, well, why is he going to drop back to pass? And he lets it go. And I'm like, well, he ain't going to freaking turn. He's going to find the open guy. And then the next thing you know, there's like a pot, like 2 or 3 guys like fall going down. And you see Tom Brady jumping on the sideline. I'm like, yo, Malcolm Butler just picked that off, bro. Pete Carroll, why did you just give us the game? Because I was pretty much ready because, I mean, we hadn't won one in like 10 years up to that point. You know, we had lost in 2 or 3. This would be our 3rd straight one we had lost. And, man, I'm like,
no conversation.
No. Like, that was bad. But I'm like, yo, like, that's the biggest fumble in a coaching decision ever. But I mean, I was jumping for joy. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, that game, the way it went, completely killed Seattle's trajectory. Yep. It literally changed everything. If they win that game, they don't break that team up nearly. I did a what if about this like a year ago. If they win that game, this team stays together for the most part. You won't be able to keep everybody, but you'll be able to keep the majority of those guys. Just crazy.
I agree. I think you probably get another 2 Super Bowls out of it. Right? I don't know if they get a 3-peat because as we've seen how Russ, when he got the money, he started to smell himself a little bit. And I think if they had won,
changed the offense too. He was throwing too much.
Yeah, if they would have went to the Super Bowl, right? If they would have won this one, they would have got at least 3. You know, they would have had an opportunity to get 3. But I just think he would have been smelling himself a little bit too much, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And like I said, man, it sucked. But I mean, the Patriots, they did their thing, man. You know, but it's more of the Seahawks losing than the Patriots winning.
Yeah, they jump-started the Patriots' second dynasty. Yep. Literally, they jump-started it. That's what started it.
On some dumb shit.
I love Pete Carroll. Not just for that. I love Pete Carroll, but I definitely love him for that.
Yeah, man, that was just dumb shit, man. I don't care. That dude, Marshawn was averaging like 6 yards of carry, bro.
I just don't see a scenario. Like, we had a really good D-line. Don't get me wrong, but like, I just don't see a scenario where you don't, because that wasn't fourth down or nothing. So, like, I don't see a scenario where you don't hand the ball off there. Like, that was such a low percentage play. Like, why wouldn't you just give it to your walking bucket on that play? If not, why wouldn't you have done like a play action? It wasn't even play action.
And what's crazy is the Patriots might have just let them score because they wanted to have some time to even try to do a last second drive, So like that shit just was dumb as hell, man. And if you ask all the players, they all say the same shit. It was dumb as hell. Dumb as hell. But you know what? That's what happened. Pete Carroll just one of them guys that try to outsmart themselves.
He just tried to do too much.
Yeah. Like taking Reggie Bush off the field in that championship game in college, bro. Like he literally won the Heisman being a mismatch. You got to guard him. That would have took somebody out of the box and allowed Lindell to have a little bit more room, right? But you take Reggie Bush out, now we just load the box because we know what's about to come.
And it's no shade of Pete Carroll. We're both big fans of Pete, Hall of Fame coach, but man. You can't fumble the bag like that.
Yeah, when it comes to outsmarting yourself, because that's all it is. That's what happens, man. So, but like I said, man, the Seahawks is back. The Patriots are in a different space as well, right? The Seahawks have the veteran, right? And the Patriots got the young guy at quarterback, right? Nothing would cement a legacy early than winning a Super Bowl in your 20s, right?
Oh, yeah.
But for Darnold, man, I think him winning sets the precedent that just because you start out a little rough, that ain't the end of the story, Well, so I don't know. I ain't picked the winner yet. So
I was listening to Drew Brees talk a while back, and he was talking about like not jumping the gun, like about saying some of these guys are over with. And he's like, I forget how many starts he said it was. I think he said like 20 starts or something. He's like, sometimes you really don't know. It might have been more than 20, but he's like, you don't really know sometimes what you have until like a very sizable start gap. He played in New York, 3 years? I think 3 years, give or take. Horrible situation, no blocking, barely any weapons to go to, because this is before they had Garrett Wilson or anything. And
that's terrible.
They ship him out. He goes to Carolina with Baker Mayfield.
They actually win. It was like 8-9, wasn't it?
I think. Like and they pulled the rug out from under him. I'm like, okay. He goes to San Fran. He's like third string because they weren't going to put him at second string because they still had a lot of equity involved with Trey Lance. Gets a little playtime in San Fran. Obviously, San Fran has Brock Purdy. They move on. Goes to Minnesota. A match made in heaven. They win 14 games. He didn't have the greatest playoff performance, but they make the playoffs, and they look really convincing. You had drafted a quarterback in the first round. But most of the time in NFL history, or at least in general, most teams are like, okay, I invested in a first-round pick. I have to go with my guy. And most of the time in that scenario, you will, because that guy is that guy. But we can just, and this is no shade at J.J. McCarthy. But in hindsight's 2020, so I don't want to act like I knew better. But even in that scenario, before he even left or anything, me and you looked at each other and were like, you have to keep Sam Darnold. You have to. I don't care what you got involved with JJ. He's got trade value. Get picks, and then you can continue to build your roster, and you don't have to rebuild. They let him walk, and he goes to Seattle. And me and you were like, I think that's a really good fit. They've got defense. They have decent weapons. They bring Cooper Kupp in. They have JSN. They have decent running backs and a pretty decent offensive line. What's going to happen? Like, they might be okay. Dude comes out and does the exact same thing. So, I mean, moral of the story is sometimes you really don't know after a few years. Like, if it's a bad situation, you really won't get a fair shot to know. Carolina was a dumpster fire. New York was a dumpster fire. San Fran doesn't count. He finally gets a little help. Obviously, I say a little. You have Justin Jefferson and Addison, but he balls out. Comes to Seattle, balls out. Sometimes that's all you have to do, and it's a case by case basis. But like that goes to show, I wasn't even big on Sam Darnold coming out of USC. I don't know where you were at on him, but I didn't really like his tape. I just felt like he was a little overrated, in my opinion. But like, I've seen pieces here and there. I like what I see, but I need to see more. And last year, we both got on the train because I'm like, he's finally building that repertoire. Come to Seattle, all he did was just elevate his name even further. Now, he had a little bit of turnover problems throughout the season, but he hasn't played bad. He's done what he's had to do. He's not a game manager by any means.
Yeah, nah, like I ain't gonna say I was super high on Darnold, but I seen the vision over him and Josh Rosen, right? I figured
I knew he was gonna be better.
Who?
I knew Darnold was gonna be better. I thought Rosen was way overrated.
Yeah, so that's kind of my thought process going against when those two were coming up out of the Los Angeles quarterbacks at the time, right? So I was like, all right, I really like Darnold. If I'm saying, hey, who should have went number one over Baker Mayfield, right? I like Baker, but I thought I was like, okay, I didn't like the situation because
I didn't think they were going to do that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I didn't either. But I was just sitting there like, I don't like the situation because they don't have a good rapport with quarterbacks, period.
And that was a hell of a quarterback class too.
Yeah, it was.
That was a really good, what Lamar was in that class. I want to say Josh Allen was in that class. Mm-hmm. There's 4 or 5 other guys in that class that haven't made it to a Super Bowl before Sam Darnold, which is crazy.
Yeah, and if you look at the road to get there, he's probably had the most tumultuous, man.
Definitely.
Because, he's outcasted by the team that drafted you, right? Mm-hmm. That's kind of like him and Baker's thing, right? But, he used the most of it, out of he's the one that's been focused on hey, I got to get better, right? So when you think about, Darnold and how his draft thing was, you kind of saw it, right? I saw blemishes of it in New York. As bad as those teams were, they had some really good nucleus pieces. They just never put the right pieces around.
The coaching staff was horrible too. They didn't have a good coaching staff.
Yeah, you go from Fitzpatrick. Yeah, you go from Fitzpatrick at quarterback to, I want to say, Darnold, right? But then you fire Todd Bowles right after, he had a bad season, right? That's cool. My bad, right? We got a young quarterback, bro. But
then you bring in Googly Eyes after.
Yeah, which was dumb. And then you didn't fire him. You didn't fire him until after the season was over. You should have started looking for your next guy after that. Or before that, should I say. All that turnover and everything. And that was just on the offensive side, bro. The defensive side, your defense was literally led by Jamal Adams. Okay. I remember that Monday night game, right? It was a Monday night. I think they were playing the Patriots over there, right? But there was one guy that was making plays on defense, and that was Jamal Adams. He really wanted to be there, and he really wanted to play well, right? And I love me some Jamal Adams, man. I really do. So, I was like, yo, y'all just wasting these dudes' careers right now. Mm-hmm. You're not helping them. They obviously want to win here. But y'all just being stupid. And they still stupid after all of this time. It's it's a meme out there, right? That shows the Patriots record after Tom Brady left, right? And then the Jets record after Tom Brady left, right? So that's crazy. He's been killing the Jets for years. He leaves, and y'all still ass. And then the team he was on, this is back in the Super Bowl, and you still drafted in the top 3.
The it's how abysmal they've been. I don't want to hang on the Jets that long, but I had a statistic that showed like most touchdown passes since like 2000, and it showed. Let me see. Hold on, because this is actually a. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. I need to. I don't want to misquote this. Hold up. Where is it at? Where's that show of Drew Brees at? Where are you at? Where are you at? There it is. So it says Drew Brees, completely irrelevant, but Drew Brees has 386 touchdowns from 2008 to 2018. The New York Jets have thrown 382 touchdowns since 2000. So just keep that kind of thing in mind. That was a really bad situation to come up in.
That's just ass, man.
So
they suck. They absolutely suck. They suck as an organization, bro. They're terrible. Like,
but to see that journey, like,
yeah. But I mean, but then like you look at, like I said, we'll break down the quarterbacks like a little bit later. But you look at like I said, you look at Drake May, right? He's he's drafted top. That's what they needed. That's what y'all needed. Y'all needed a quarterback, and y'all needed a confident quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I love Cam Newton, I do, but that was a project that Big Bill at the time, that was too much of an overhaul. All right, that's way outside your lane. If you're Bill Belichick,
and he wasn't the same guy anymore anyway. After those injuries, he couldn't do what he was able to. Those back injuries and like that weighed on him in his game. You couldn't rely on the athleticism anymore.
Yeah, so you needed if you were going to go athleticism, this was the route to go, right? Because you didn't have a chance. I think y'all would have actually tried to get Daniels that year. I think y'all would have tried to. If y'all would have had like the second pick, I think y'all would have tried to.
That's who. I mean, you remember. You know how bad I wanted that. You remember how bad I wanted that. I told you every day. I'm like, dude, we gotta do it. I'm like, the Commanders are gonna go Drake May. When they didn't, I was like, oh. But in hindsight, it's a similar situation that. And I love Drake May coming out of college. Me and you were really high on him.
Yeah, we called him a gamer.
But like now it's translating to a similar thing with RG3 in Washington that it's just hard for him to stay healthy, and New England started 2 freaking tackles. I don't want to say both of their tackles were rookies all year. And he's been able to just do his thing, and he can run from time to time, but he doesn't run unless he has to. He can pick you apart and do what he needs to do. So it was definitely the stable option you needed.
But don't get it twisted, dog. If he turn up on you, he can go.
Oh, I seen it. He did what he had to do to win the last game on that freaking that 4th down.
Yo, he took the fuck off. I was like, yo, he got wheels like that. Oh man, I was like,
white boy could run.
Yeah, I was like, yo, he is a true athlete, dog. Like he off the chain with it. So
and he's been getting a lot of hate. I feel like in the last week or so, and I'm like, man, especially Cam Newton, he peanut butter and jealous, bro.
Like only because of how they played in the last game. Right? I don't put too much in.
You're not gonna have a perfect game every game, though. I mean, that's playoffs, bro.
Yeah, but I don't put too much stock in it, man, because you try to play football in the fucking snow. That's just not fucking easy.
Especially with how quick it started snowing. Like that came out of nowhere, bro.
Yeah, like nah, man. You try to play football in the snow, bro. It's not fun and it's not easy. And the game plan you probably came in there with was probably scrapped at halftime.
What changed?
Like, no, I don't put too much stock in it. Everybody, you hear all them other people on other sports news outlets like, oh man, they play real bad in that game. I don't really trust. I was like, dude, they're gonna be in a controlled environment. At least it'll be a whole lot warmer. They still gonna be outside, but it's not gonna be that weather. It's not gonna be stupid like that. So I guarantee he gonna play a little bit better. And like I said, Darnold might even play a whole lot better because he's closer to where he's at, So like I don't know, man. But we'll see. We'll see. I think the pressure is actually on it's actually on Darnold in a sense, if you think about it. But we'll get into that, man. We get into that. Let's see, this thing wanna take all day.
Do. Do 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 do. There we go.
All right, man. So we gotta break down the Patriots, man. So the Patriots, 14-3. This is Mike Vrabel's, what is it, second year? First
year.
So when you look at their season journey to the Super Bowl, it's pretty interesting, right? Not the greatest strength of schedule, right? But that doesn't really, it applies in professional football, but
Yes
not as much as it does in college, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that the fact that you guys are top 5 in scoring offense and then top 5 in defense shows that y'all got a really good ass team. You know, if you can blend those two and be real good, top 5 in both, you're probably a playoff team. Like, I haven't seen teams do that and not make the playoffs many times. So that's pretty good, man. But break down your team, man. Break down your team. What did you see this season, and what led y'all here? What led y'all here? Or when did you have the idea that y'all was gonna make it?
Well, week one definitely didn't feel that. Which the loss week one ended up costing us having home field advantage at the end of the day, dropping that one to the Raiders, unfortunately. But you've seen as the year went on, you've seen the camaraderie. You've never seen that team get overly frustrated. They always seem just even keel, focused, executing like crazy. Like, and you've seen production from guys who are all new, whether it being rookies like Mac Hollins, Trevion Henderson, Will Campbell when he was able to play, or guys on defense like newly additions like Carlton Davis and like all these other, like everything blended really well, but it all starts from the coaching staff. Mike Vrabel did a really good job at getting a very well-balanced coaching staff. He brings the intensity, he brings the focus, he brings the clarity. You get a familiar face in Josh McDaniels, who gets a lot of crap because he sucked as a head coach. But let's just be honest with you, probably one of the greatest assistant coaches of all time. Just consistently a reason why teams succeed. You bring in a guy who can develop quarterbacks, who's a quarterback whisperer, to work with Drake May, and obviously brought him along a long way. And then obviously our defensive coordinator got diagnosed with cancer in week one. Now he's cancer-free, which is great. But what they were able to do on defense and offense, everything was just well sound. I've never seen them get out of line. Mistakes happen, they correct them. With injuries, we had injuries throughout the year, but like as the year went on, you've seen things start to come together. The offense starts catching rhythm. You have Stevenson, you have Henderson, we're running the ball well. We might not have the most premier receiving core, but guys are getting open, guys are making plays. Stephon Diggs, all these guys like that. Then you get to the playoffs. You have to play the Chargers. Chargers aren't a bad team. Chargers have holes, but they're not a pushover. They clamped up Herbert and they executed an offense. Not pretty wins, but a win. You move on to Houston. Houston's got a top 3 defense. Crazy pass rush. And people are going to be like, oh, CJ Stroud's bad. CJ Stroud. Yeah, but the defense still has to make plays. That quarterback can struggle, but when you have pass rush like that, getting pressure, you have to give credit where it's due. You're only rushing 3-4 guys into getting pressure, and your secondary is making those adjustments and intercepting the ball. You have to give credit. Not the craziest game they won. You go into Denver. Okay, Bo Nix is out. Big deal, big deal, big deal. I agree, it's a big deal. But I don't agree with the point where you say, oh, it's a shoe-in. If Bo Nix plays, they win. I don't think so. I think it's still a really interesting game. But what really struck a chord with me in that game is that Denver punched us in the mouth from jump. Defensively, you punted the ball 4 or 5 straight drives. And you stop Denver on the first drive. Stidham throws like a 56-yard bomb. They get in the end zone. Most teams will pack it in, and they won't stay disciplined and fight back. We get a turnover. We capitalize, make it 7. When we turn around, we kick the field goal. You get into the second half, and you've seen the adjustments. The offensive line held up. They didn't allow those crazy pressures you were getting in the first half. And also, I seen the New England defense pursuit to the ball and being around the ball and making plays took a drastic jump in the second half. He had little time, and every time that ball came out, there was always a defender around it. And then when it comes to the crunch time, Sean Payton made a really bad decision not taking the 3 points there, and New England took advantage. So I think the biggest thing for them has been resiliency. I think resiliency when you were counted down and out so many times, strength of schedule, this and this and that. I just think it's resiliency, discipline, and just being opportunistic on offense and defense.
All right, man. So, all right. So my thing about the Patriots, man, obviously they played a lot of bad teams, but you got to beat the teams on your schedule, right? That's how it goes.
And they don't pick the schedule either. So
you do that, but at the same time, man, the run throughout the playoffs, it hasn't been the most battle tested in my opinion. All right, and I'll say it like this, all right. When you look at the Chargers, right? Yeah, Herbert played, right? But they have no running game, right? So that makes them one-dimensional and easy to stop, right? Just make sure you stay disciplined and don't fall for the okie doke, right? And that's really what happened, right? And that's how you limit a team to 3 points, right? And then when you look at the Texans, right? The Texans defense has been very good all year. We're talking probably one.
But their pass protection is horrible.
Yeah, but when you look at the Texans, right, their biggest issue, which is probably why they weren't number one in the play on the AFC side, is the offense. CJ Stroud's inconsistency from his second year till now has been something we should study. Not sure what's going on. Not sure why it's happening. I don't know. But you can't blame it on anybody else but yourself, right? Because you have the running backs, you got some receivers, and you got hella good defense, right? All you got to do is just play your game. Don't do too much. And that's exactly what he's done, right? Just doing too much, right? Now, as far as that has to do with the Patriots, right? Like, he hasn't played good all year, right? So that's not the most battle-tested thing, right? Now, the elements in Denver made that a tougher game than it probably should have been, right? But you going, as Andrew says, Patriots getting smacked. But when you look at Denver, them being without Bo Nix was a very serious blow. All right, like we can't gloss over that.
No, I'm not. But to say it was a shoe in, to say it was a shoe in was crazy though.
A shoe in, no.
That's crazy.
A shoe in, no. But that vastly affects.
No, definitely it changes your game plan offensively.
Yeah, and the fact that, like, I do think Denver wins that game though if Bo Nix plays, because there are certain throws that Stidham was not making that I know Bo Nix would have made. All right, out the backfield, just the on schedule throws that you could trust your quarterback to make. That would have changed the game for Denver, in my opinion. Right? Yeah, you gotta stop them. But
they couldn't run the ball either, though.
I mean, that's true, but it's also easier to stop somebody knowing they can't throw. We ain't gotta come out of base. He can't complete a pass. And then it's snowing. He definitely can't complete a pass. We're gonna stay in base and we're gonna get after him constantly. We're gonna just focus on stopping the run. Now, right. So the run hasn't been the best, right, in terms of being battle tested, right? But here's why I like the Patriots, though. I like Drake May's ability to play. It goes back to his gamer thing. I think out of all these games, right, you knew that the team that you were playing against were a little bit handcuffed, right? So you could be relaxed. No. They literally showed up to play still. And I like that in the Patriots. I do. I like that.
No complacency.
Yeah, I love that non-complacency type of attitude, right? All right, we know the Chargers are handcuffed a little bit. We know the Texans are handcuffed a little bit. And we know Denver was definitely handcuffed a little bit. But we can still beat them, right? We don't have to play down to the competition, right? We can still beat them. So that's kind of how I felt, you know. So and like I said, that's why I like their run, man. I think there are a couple of things they spent some money in the off season, and I'm sitting there, yeah. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. And then you can't run, so they stuff the box. You most certainly do. So, but I like the way that they play. I do. I do. So, but it should be interesting. So let's do the contrast. Let's do the other side. Let's do the Seahawks. Let's break them down, man.
Yeah, they got Rob Myrer.
Who?
A joke. I said Rob Myrer. You don't remember Myrer for the Seahawks in the '90s when they had Cortez in them? The quarterback.
Oh, you talking about Duke from Notre Dame? They said
Yeah.
was gonna be the next Joe Namath?
Yeah.
Or Joe Montana, I'm sorry. No, hell no. He was more like Joe Namath at the end of his career. He was terrible. Like, oh my god, he was so bad. But he was good though. He had so much potential, man. I don't know what the fuck happened. So when you look at the Seahawks, man, all right. So in contrast to the Patriots playoff run, the Seahawks are battle tested, man. You got to go through some division opponents in the playoffs, okay? So teams that know you probably better than you know yourself, you had to beat them, right? And the 49ers was a beatdown, okay? That was a beatdown. Wasn't expecting that one at all. Was expecting a little bit closer game, but that was a beatdown, right? Then you look at them against the Rams. Some people say that was the Super Bowl, in my opinion. I don't necessarily think so, but I will say the team that won this game was probably going to be the favorites in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think that's fair. That's fair because you're looking at both teams' road to this point. The Seahawks look a little more dangerous than the Patriots, at least from what you looked in the playoffs. If we're just looking at that 3-game sample size, right? Not what you did in the season, what you did in this 3-game or 2-game sample size, depending on how you played, right? So the fact that they won that game, makes them the favorites, man. But we gotta dive into the numbers, all right? So they top 5 in offense as well, right? But they've been the number 1 defense in terms of scoring, right? Specifically in this win streak they've been in, right? They haven't given up shit, all right? They give up, what is 60, 60 points or something, or 100 some points, or something like that. And only 60 of them points have come from the Rams games. Mm-hmm. So everybody else has been getting stopped. So when you look at the Seahawks, man, I expected them to have a better defense anyway. Taking McDonald from the Ravens, right? That's what he does. That's what he knows, right? So I'm like, dude, their defense gonna be good, and they already had a pretty good defense to begin with, right? So I was thinking offensively, right? So that's where you bring in, you needed an upgrade from Geno Smith. I mean, Geno Smith was good. He actually got his career on track, right?
Even after 1 year, though.
Year 2 was okay.
But after that, it went down.
Yeah, but he reached that potential that maybe you thought he had, right? He turned into a Pro Bowler. I think he got All Pro too, at least second team, I guess. But you need an upgrade, right? You need somebody that's not going to be afraid to take some shots downfield, but cautious enough to take what's underneath as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bring in Sam Darnold, man. And, we knew Sam Darnold was going to get paid, right? We've been saying it the whole time. It was like, dude, about to get paid, bro. The Darnold train, you got to pay that motherfucker. All right? You don't win 14 games in Minnesota and be like, oh, well, we're not going to pay him, right? That was the Vikings' problem. All right.
That's why the GM got fired.
He's just about to say the GM got fired. So you can tell, hey, somebody's not smart about that, right? So, but nonetheless, man, the Seahawks get into the Super Bowl, man. But I think it's tougher to beat a team, beat a team 2 times, or 3 times in the playoffs and stuff like that. So like I said, it's fun. It's a fun journey, man. So, but what you think?
The only question mark, and I'm not trying to gloss over what they've done. You've touched on everything I would have touched on. I want to see how McDonald handles the pressure of being here. Obviously, Vrabel's never coached in a Super Bowl before, but Vrabel's had high pressure coaching situations. He's been to 3 AFC Championship games. He's won 1 out of the 3, but the guy as a player has been in these high pressure situations. I feel a lot more confident and this is bias aside. From the outside looking in, I wouldn't have to be a Patriots fan. I'd feel a lot more comfortable with a guy who knows exactly what he's going into with this. From the player perspective, and now he's doing it from the coach perspective, knowing all the things that are going to come at you. You're already the underdog. Like you're already being counted out. You're doing all these things. And McDonald seems like he's been very even keel. His team plays really well. They're really talented. But I want to see his decision making in these high pressure situations because you've literally never been here, like not taking nothing away from him. Built a really good team. He's gotten them here. He earned it. He deserves all the praise. But that's like my big bugaboo is just like you've never been here. Like what is going to go into your preparation? What is it going to happen if New England pushes you against the wall? Like how are you going to respond? Like what kind of adjustments are you going to make? Or like what are you going to do to get yourself out of that bond? Or like if you get up early, what are you going to do to try to secure that and not like put your team in a position to lose the game? You know what I mean? Like I would just feel more comfortable with a guy who's been in this situation for a 4th time, 3 as a player, and then 4 as a player, and then 1 as a coach. You know what I mean? I think that's a major difference maker that nobody's really touching base on or talking about.
Well, I mean, because it's still even though he knows what it feels like as a player.
But I think it's still a big deal though.
I mean, it is a big deal, but it's still his first Super Bowl as the head man.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? It's levels to that, right? As a player, you don't know what the coaches is going through. And as an assistant coach, you definitely don't know what the big man is going through. So this is your first time going through all of that, right? Mm-hmm. You can talk to the players as a player, as a former player, and then you can talk to the assistants as a former assistant going through this. But you as a head coach, as the first time, it's a lot coming at you too, right?
Yeah.
And and McDonald's advantage is that I haven't been through this, so I don't really know. I can be naive to this whole thing and just go out there and just call what I've been doing. I don't have to do nothing different, right? I think the fact that you know what it means to be there and you've done it might make your judgment a little bit more cloudy, in my opinion, because you know so many scenarios where it's like, well, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if that happens?
And I feel like it gives you more clarity, though, at least from my point of view.
I mean, you can look at it that way, too. I just think I'd rather go into it like if this is my first one, and both of their first ones, I would rather go into it with no expectations and just focus on that, right? Just doing what we've been doing to get here. I think a lot of teams.
I think that they've both probably done that same thing though, because I mean their expectation was not going to be anywhere near here, and I feel like every time I hear him talk, it's like, look, we're not going to change nothing. Come back next day, we're going to be doing the exact same thing we've been doing all year. Don't change up.
Yeah, so that's my whole thing, man. Like I think when you look at like I said, when you look at both of them, I just like the fact that you could come in here and not worry about that. Just do what you've been doing. We've seen so many teams come into the Super Bowl and just want to change everything or put a wrinkle in here somewhere, and that's cool. You should, but changing your whole game plan and philosophy before the Super Bowl is that's so stupid.
Yeah, I don't think either team is going to do that by any means. I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Yeah, but let's get into the player for player, man. Let's see what we got here. I got some cool shit today, as it takes so.
Yeah, 20 minutes later, it's okay.
Yeah.
And we could always take a break in between or whatever, so.
All right, man. So player for player, man. QB, right? So it's kind of a home game for Sam Darnold, being from Cali and all, right? So should be fun. Should be fun, man. Obviously Darnold um had a pretty good season. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. The interceptions is actually a little bit concerning, right? But considering, like I said, Drake May being as young as he is, man, and
72% is
already
crazy.
at 72% is scary. All right, that's scary for the rest of the league.
Like
right?
23 years old, completing over 70%. Like regardless of who it's for, that's detrimental right there, bro. Like that's crazy work.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, that's kind of that's scary for the rest of the league. Imagine how good he's gonna be, injuries aside, at 27.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that if he's at 72 right now as a 23-year-old, at 27 with the right guidance, you could be looking at the face of the league. All right, because he's gonna be way smarter than he is right now. He's gonna learn more, and if Vrabel stays there, right, that
you've continued to build that camaraderie and that chemistry.
Exactly, right. You could be building the next dynasty, right? You could, because that's how Bill and Tom was. He found his guy that was not really
and they knew how to bounce and knew how to work off each other.
Yeah,
they listened to each other.
See, and then what do you see? All right, now let's see what we both see. Right, that changes things, you know. So when it comes to the quarterbacks, man, I really give the edge to May if we're talking just what happened this season, skill set and all, right? But when it comes to like use of the weapons, I really like what Darnold does, man.
Well, they have a bit more to choose from too.
Yeah, but I mean, still, like, if you're not gonna be, athletic enough to run as well as pass, right? You gotta be able to, move your feet a little bit, get out of there, find those backs, find that tight end. I think
you gotta distribute the ball to everybody.
Exactly. And I think sometimes you might look at the completion percentage and be like, oh man, whatever. But I like Darnold's ability to throw that shit. You know what I'm saying? Be aggressive with it. All right. When you have a higher completion percentage, there is a tendency to be a dink and dunk kind of dude, which ain't wrong. Sometimes you got to do that shit.
But going through your progression, sometimes you have to take those check downs, and like those kind of plays will be frowned upon. A lot of times, like, oh, he's doing check downs. It's like, dude, you got to take what the defense gives you. If they're taking you out of the second level, and you have to keep like hitting those check downs or like those drags and those slants, like you do what you have to do. Whatever gives you the best chance to get down the field and score points,
Yeah, no, man. Like I said, I'm not shitting on the check down merchants, right? I think those are guys that you need.
I like that. I like that name.
Yeah, I'd rather, because to be honest with you, Tom Brady was kind of a check down merchant.
He could go deep, but they would pick you apart with just going across the middle and hitting the outsides.
Yeah, he would systematically pick you apart, man. And that got him, 7 Super Bowls? So, I mean, if that's the way to win, that's the way to win, right? But if we're trying to win just one game, right, I would rather the guy that's willing to take that chance, right? Smartly, of course, right? But if you can get out the pocket and make that throw downfield accurately, I like that, But like I said, I give the edge to definitely the Patriots in this one. Just because you got a guy who, in my opinion, when I was looking up the rushing totals, which we're getting into on the next segment, right? Drake May got like 400 yards rushing or some shit like that.
He can extend plays. Like there's instances where I see him roll out, and I think Aaron Rodgers, like before he goes to throw, but then he just takes off, and I'm like, well, that's not Aaron Rodgers. He's got an extra leg. And he just knows, like, okay, I cannot try to force his ball.
Leg? Whoa. Whoa. Extra leg is crazy, bro.
You had to turn it into that. Everybody else knew what I meant, but like in the instance where, yeah, they definitely knew what I meant, but like in the instance where it's like I could try to throw it across my body or try to hurt and stop on a dime, but I just know I'm just gonna put my foot down on the ground. I'm just going. Like he just knows how to differentiate those kind of plays. I feel like he knows when it's time to, take a low percentage throw downfield, or if I just like, look, I just need to get yards, or I need to just extend the drive, move the chains. Like he's that guy.
That's why I give him the edge, man. And I'm all.
And I like Darnold. Don't get me wrong, I love Darnold too, and I'm glad to see him kind of like elevate into the situation. But like, it's a much more favorable situation when someone's that age, and the game is coming to him like that at the age of 23. Like you said, that's scary. Darnold's 28. Imagine what if May continues to mature and develop at the pace he's at. Imagine where he's at 28. If everything stays like everything kind of stays intact for the most part, like your coaching staff for the most part, like Vrabel and him working together, like that's scary for the rest of the AFC. Just saying.
I agree, man. I agree. I just hope they keep it together, man. Like win, lose, or draw. I hope they just keep it together, man. All right, man. So I told you in the last show that the team that runs the ball well wins this Super Bowl. So my question is, you rather have 3 running options or 1? I mean, technically, less is better if you think about how the Super Bowl is gone, man. All right. Your best performances have come from John Riggins, Marcus Allen, and then I want to say Terrell Davis got Super Bowl MVP as well. So, like, if you got a bell cow that can really just run the ball, that's cool, right? And you would think conventional wisdom would be like, hey, let's just have a bunch of guys that do it, man. Well, the Eagles tried that shit against the fucking Chiefs, and the shit didn't work out too well.
But to rebuttal that, like when New England played Atlanta, they had multiple options. They could hand it off to White. They could hand it off to White. They could throw it to White. We had other guys that back there too. They were able to kind of pick it apart and ask. I love Kenneth Walker. I think he's good. But the compliment of Henderson and Stevenson, look, dude, Henderson almost went for 1,000 yards on 40 less touches than Kenneth Walker, almost 10 touchdowns. And Stevenson had a little over 100, 600 yards. Like, that's efficiency. And, like, I feel like what New England's done really good in that they're not forced to make a throw too much. But, like, when they want to run, they run. Like, last week against Denver, when they had to buckle down and just put their foot in the ground and run, they buckled down and they freaking moved. They moved that line of scrimmage. They opened holes, and those running backs went. So Kenneth Walker is a bell cow, I feel like. But like when I have a thunder and lightning option like these two, I can keep interchanging them out, and I can use them in the pass game too. Offensively, I think it helps you because you don't know if you're expecting play action or if they're just going to straight out the gut, or they're going to run screens, or they're going to run tosses. Like, I think that option and the versatility between two guys, like, I think that's more detrimental for the other team trying to stop that. Like, New England can run the ball with these two, yeah, but I'm more scared of everything else that they can do as well.
All right. Nah, man. Like I said, man, I guess I'm more old school, man.
Yeah.
Where I like having just one guy, right? But I do like the running back by committee approach too, because if one guy ain't hitting, you just kind of go to
give the defense a different option to try to contain.
Yeah.
If they're stopping my bruiser, let me get my speed guy in there.
Yeah.
Let them get accustomed to that, and I can keep flipping them.
Yeah, and Don Shula, when I was making the reel that I put out yesterday with the best tailback, right, the best backfield, Don Shula mentioned that Jim Kick and Larry Zonka were a good duo, right?
Yes.
And Jim Kick could block for Larry Zonka and vice versa, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the person that made the offense go when they were at a standstill was Mercury Morris.
Mm-hmm.
Because Mercury Morris could make you miss and maybe pick up that extra 10 yards because he made somebody miss, right? But they all did this, they all did different stuff, but they all did the basics right. They could catch, they could block, they could run, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think you guys having two guys that could catch, can block, can run, right? I think that's crazy. And you have to not only if you ran uh the two back set, right? That would be crazy work because now you got to watch both of them guys and the quarterback can run. That's dangerous. I
It
think
is.
I think if you guys run that set a little bit more, I think y'all probably win this game. Y'all have to. Because if you just run with one guy, it's like, okay, well, we'll just stop him.
And they've never been like that all year. I feel like they've been really interchanging because I feel like they want to keep things fresh and keep the defense on their toes, and you have to in this day and age, especially if you're really trying to commit to the run. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm always the guy like you in a sense where it's like old school. Like, I'm gonna give the hot hands. Like, I'm a freaking pump them freaking carries. But man, if I feel like I'm getting decent and I feel like I can gash them with the other option, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it, and if I get it, cool. If not, we're gonna keep finding ways to pick you apart with both guys.
Yeah, man. So that's cool. That's cool. That's cool, man. So we got one more thing.
And they're both averaging. One guy's averaging 4.5 yards to carry. The other guy's averaging like 5. So that's crazy efficiency.
I agree, man. You ain't getting no argument out of me. What the hell, man? Come on. All right, man. So this is not necessarily, if you look at the numbers, it's not necessarily a close comparison, right? But I will tell you this though. The thing that makes Stefon Diggs a little bit more of a weapon
He's clutch.
than JSN is that short area quickness. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Just when you think you got Diggs, like, oh my God, I'm going to just tackle him. He just makes the move this way.
And he's been in these situations before, bro. Never a Super Bowl, but he's been in these freaking crazy situations before.
Dude is like that short area quickness, man. It's like a skill set that you really have to like. It sets receivers apart from like every other receiver in my opinion, right? Because if I can throw you this hitch or throw you this this drag or whatever, or even a screen, and you make somebody miss, or you just go from 0 to 60 in terms of speed, right? And beat the defender to the edge, even when he has the better angle. I think that shit is just crazy work to me, right? And I think that is what separates these two, right? Yeah, and Jigba has the more catches, right? He has the more yards, right? But impact receptions. When you look
big time plays.
Yeah,
Clutch.
when you look at I need this 3rd and 5, bro. We can't run.
Guess who you go put the ball in? You're gonna give it to Old Reliable, the guy who's been there.
Yeah, man. And I believe it or not, man, when the Patriots have won all them Super Bowls, they have had a guy like that.
Yeah, you had that one guy.
Troy Brown, Wes Welker,
Julian
Amendola, what is it, Woodhead, right? You got these guys that you could just James White as well, right?
Julian
Edelman.
I
can go to you because you have this short area quickness that you're not gonna dilly dally and just like, oh well, I'm gonna make a move this way. No, you hit it and you get a north and south. And when Diggs does things like that, that really grinds my gears, dog, because he did that against my Ravens, man. And they caught the ball and just took off. It wasn't no thought process, whatever.
No, there's no thought. It's just go. Like get yards.
And he put feet to the pavement, right? And that was it, right? And I love that kind of shit, right? Now, what Jackson Smith and Jigba gives you, way more than Diggs is the ability to attack downfield.
Mm-hmm.
Dude has the ability to take
Crazy
the top off
wingspan
the
too.
defense. Like you have to watch him, right?
He's long too.
Yeah.
For 6 foot, like he plays bigger than like when you watch him play, I think he's like 6'2", 6'3". Like, he doesn't play like a guy who's 6 foot. Like when you seen Wes Welker play, he was 5'9". He played like he was 5'9". Quick, low, but he's just commanding. Like he commands more than one guy to try to cover him.
And I think about Diggs, right? You said that JSN plays bigger. I think Diggs plays smaller.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion,
he does.
Right?
He plays like he's smaller because he just gets up and goes. Like catches the ball, go. Like Darren Sproles would be back in the day. He catches it, it's just gone. Like no thinking, no dancing, just go.
Like he plays a lot smaller.
And for 32 years old, with 32 years old coming off that injury, I haven't seen an effect from that injury at all. No. I just feel like I know it's only with less than 100 balls, 1,000 yards, only 4 touchdowns. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, the touchdowns aren't there. I'm like, it's not all about touchdowns. The guy extends your drive. The guy extends your drives so May can turn around and throw a 40, 50-yard bomb to Boutte because they are trying to make sure Diggs doesn't have an explosive play. He opens up plays for other guys in the room,
And I'm looking at these career totals, man. Super Bowl might start to put you in the Hall of Fame category, dog.
He's already got over 1,000 yards. I mean, 11,000 yards. Almost 1,000 balls.
Yep. I'm sorry, dude. It's dudes in the Hall of Fame, man, that got 1,000 catches, over 10,000 yards. And I presume he's gonna play another season, so he should get over 75 catches for touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, dog.
A ring kind of helps solidify your case, especially since you're a key contributor.
A ring helps you out, man. But a ring also helps JSN because he's on that route.
It starts to establish him in that top 5 conversation. And the difference of what JSN's got a 9-yard hit, like he's 9 yards behind. I mean, not 9 yards, 9 years. Like he's got the age differential. And he's already hitting his stride in like year 2 or this is year 3, I believe. Like he's finally that number 1 guy. And you've seen, I mean, dude, if he wouldn't have got snagged up at the end of the year, the guy has a chance to break Jerry Rice's record. Like that was a conversation. So don't diminish that,
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, man, like there's a lot of guys within this top 5 receivers, right? You think of Chase, you think of Jefferson, you think of
CeeDee
Lamb, right? And you throw in somebody else in there. Like I'm not sure who else would be in there.
I think AJ Brown's a consideration when he's not whining and crying.
Yeah, but only one of them got a ring, and that's AJ Brown.
Yep.
Right? So you gotta think a ring kind of solidifies JSN out of all of those receivers from Ohio State. He's the one.
He's the guy who's been like the guy to really help get his team over the, you know what I mean? You got to look at the roster too, but like the impact he's had this year is like you can't deny it. Like he's just taken completely. You don't catch 120 balls and almost 1,800 yards like by accident. No, that's like you dominating each and every week, and he definitely deserves his flowers.
Yeah, nah, you won't get an argument from me, man.
And I'm a receiver guy, so I love hyping up receivers. So
yeah, man, but see, I'm an offensive guy too. I like that shit, bro. I'll be paying attention.
Yeah, because you're looking at from the defensive side, like this guy's gonna kill me. Like I can't.
I'm like, yo, man, who finna tackle Diggs, bro? That dude too damn fine, bro. You gotta have 4.2 speed or closing speed.
And his speed, I love Diggs' speed. Like you said, like let me say, if you're running let me give an example, like a hitch and go, for instance, like short yardage. Let's say hitch and go. He's going like 5-7 yards. He's going to turn around and his hips are instantly switching, like interchange. Like, how do I say it? Like instantaneously. He's breaking down the hitch, and as soon as like he's just gone. Like once it's time to make that break, he's gone. Like if you're not on him, you're getting burned. Just because that footwork and his lateral quickness and like that small yardage situation. It's hard to beat, even at 32 years old.
Man,
it don't take much.
That's it, man. That's why I was like, dog, I lean towards Diggs and what he can bring to the game, bro.
And the experience he has playing in those high pressure games.
Yeah, that shit is crazy, dog. That shit is crazy.
Because think about it, like for instance, and I'm not trying to, but like when you think of the Minneapolis Miracle play, that's a routine play that should have been, tackle. But he didn't stop playing. He went up there, got that ball. When he realized he didn't get contact, he's like, nope. And like you said, no hesitation. Zoom, 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 gone. I'm winning this game. And that's just his style.
For real, man. So yeah, we can run the commercial right now if you want, then we'll come back and we'll get these get our favorite Super Bowl moments, and then we'll call it a show, man, because next week you already know what it is. So but yeah.
Yep. We'll go to a quick commercial break. Like I said before, guys, check this out. Check all these guys out. All these guys are a member of the Villains Media Network. Check them all out. It's not just football. They cover every avenue of entertainment. Enjoy the commercial break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about our favorite Super Bowl moments, man. So I mean, my favorite one, man, is obviously my Rams winning Super Bowl 34 in Atlanta. That was pretty cool, man. Because before the season, that team wasn't even picked to do anything, right? Even when we signed Trent Green, right, who ended up getting hurt in the preseason, that asshole Rodney Harrison.
Mm-hmm. Love that guy.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, but man, Kurt Warner just brought in a whole new life, man. I don't know what the fuck happened, but like the way he spread the ball around, I mean, you have Marshall Faulk in the backfield. I don't think Trent Green does all this shit, bro.
I don't think so either. I think Kurt Warner gave y'all that edge. Like he just was hungry, bro. Like he wanted to win.
Like for real, dog. Like I don't know, man. No shot at Trent Green because he had a good career with Kansas City,
but man, Kurt was just different, bro. Like nobody gives that man credit. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks who ever play because it's like that's one of those guys, damn. And I don't want to interrupt your spill, but like Kurt Warner has always been one of those guys that you are never out of it. He is always going to give you that edge, and I love
man. That. Like. Dude was just ridiculous, man. Like offensively, we just took what we wanted all the time, bro.
Mm-hmm. Like, money.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So that's one of mine, man, and one of my favorite Super Bowls. What was that, Super Bowl 38 with you guys and the Panthers? That shit was fucking lit, dog. Like that was one of the best Super Bowls I've ever watched personally, right? Because in one of the early Super Bowls I watched, and I was like, I really fucks with this fucking shit. And I was like, this shit's cool because you guys came in there with a good defense, right? And Jake Delhomme was carving y'all the fuck up. And there was absolutely nothing y'all could do, right? But on the flip side, every response that they got, y'all gave it back, right? And I love that shit, man. I love that shit. A Super Bowl that goes back and forth like that was must see television.
Keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Huh?
On the edge of your seat.
Yeah, exactly, man. And the Panthers run to the Super Bowl, right? You would think, oh my God, like they come from the wild card and they just beat everybody, including my Rams. And I'm like, yo, what the is up with this team, bro? They got like everybody on their team got some dog in them, man. I mean, you got the outside guys, you got the running backs, man. You got the quarterback, he got some dog in him, right? I'm like, damn, can they take it all the way to the Super Bowl? And damn it, they almost did. that was one of the ones where I was like, okay, like Tom Brady is that guy. Like that's when he kind of came out of that shell of just like, oh, the guy that won the Super Bowl as the backup and all of that shit. Like once he won this Super Bowl and it was put on his shoulders, that's what made him a top guy, in my opinion. This one right here. I don't even count the one with the Eagles, the first one, because he was already a top guy at that point. But this one right here, if you're gonna be one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play, and you want that mantle, you gotta do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You got this dude, this punk over here talking shit, and Jake Delhomme. We gotta put this dude in his place. All right, we gotta go. Like, hey, we can't stop him. You're gonna have to lead us to victory. And that's exactly what it is. I hate the way that ended though, because dude kicked the ball out of bounds on the kickoff for overtime or whatever. And it just gave Tom Brady like 10 yards, and then he just did. That was the worst ending to the Super Bowl, in my opinion. But fuck John Casey, because that's what he did. But like I said, that's one of my favorite Super Bowls. What about you, man? I got the Ravens too, but that really wasn't a good Super Bowl. It was just because that's my team.
Fuck that game. We're not talking about the 07 Patriots team. No, sir.
Oh, yeah, that's on the list of favorite Super Bowls.
So I'll start off by saying I feel like in my years of playing ball, and I'm pretty sure you agree, the best Super Bowls I've watched didn't have my teams in them. Like those were because you didn't have a stake, so like you got to watch it from a completely open perspective and just watch both.
I'm sorry, I can't feel like that.
So I've got a two-parter. So like as a Patriots fan, the best Super Bowl I ever watched, I had the most fun watching, was the game against the Falcons, man. Because like Atlanta was on such a red hot streak. Matt Ryan's the MVP, and we get punched in the mouth from jump. And Atlanta is just all over from jump. And Julio catches that freaking crazy one on the sideline, and they're just going down, they're scoring. They're going down, we're scoring. I remember me and my dad were watching, and he's like, man, this ain't looking too good, bro. Like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm telling you, just be patient. Something's going to happen. He's like, no, dude, there's no way. I'm like, bro, just sit down and watch this game with me. Like, I'm telling you. And you hear Tom Brady talk about it all the time. He's like, no. He's like, look, if we lose, we're going to lose. But I am not, and you say it all the time, I am not going out like that. And it's like, he's like, if we're going to win this game, we're going to take it piece by piece. We go down, we score. Cool. He's like, okay, well, we still got like 21 more points. And it's like, oh, we got to stop. Come on, kick a field goal. Okay, cool. We're down to like 17. And we're going to keep fighting and fighting and fighting. So it was really crazy about the debacle from Atlanta. But if anything, it's more about the resilience of New England to not lay down. And it's just kudos to Brady for just rallying the troops. Look, bro, if we're going to go down, it's not going to be because we didn't fight. Fought all the way back. Greatest comeback in NFL history. Greatest game. Like, I had the most fun watching that game. But, like, an underrated Super Bowl nobody talks about, that, like, not being a fan either team was really good. Super Bowl 43 with the Steelers and Cardinals.
Yeah.
Nobody's seen that coming, bro. That game was nonstop action. Man, Harrison picks up a freaking fumble from like the air, like their own like 3, runs it back like 97 yards. It's back and forth, back and forth. Kurt Warner hits Fitzgerald over the middle in between the seams. He's running, looking at himself on the freaking Titantron, making sure nobody's there to tackle him. And I'm like, man, there's still a lot of time left, but Arizona's going to win. Arizona's going to win the Super Bowl. Pittsburgh gets the ball, and Ben Roethlisberger is like, okay, I've got one Super Bowl. And kind of like how you saw my Tom Brady's like, but people don't really give me credit for that because we had a really good defense. We did this and that. Roethlisberger doesn't get enough respect in the fact that he led that team down the field and in a high-pressure situation with little to no time left, rolls out right, stops on a dime, and freaking puts a ball in the corner of the end zone to Santonio Holmes that is still the greatest catch in NFL history. And that pass is in the absolute perfect spot where neither of the defenders can get a hand on it. Greatest Super Bowl history, in my opinion. That game was so good for the fact that, one, nobody expected Arizona to be there. And when they got there, nobody expected Arizona to give Pittsburgh that much of a fight. And for them to literally be within minutes of winning the Super Bowl for Roethlisberger to drive them down the field to put that ball there, that is one of the Super Bowls that never gets enough credit. It was so freaking good. So good.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best Super Bowl, well, the best Super Bowl I've watched as like a fan of no team was probably Super Bowl 38, bro. That was probably the best one. And I watched it. I was like, damn, this is really fucking good, bro. Like these teams is going at it. I really had fun, man. Now, if you're talking like Super Bowls in like the generation now, the best Super Bowl I'd say was
that Rams and Bengals one was good too, bro.
Yeah,
the Rams and Bengals was good.
Yeah, but I would give it to the Eagles and Chiefs the first time.
Yeah,
because that put Mahomes at a different place, right? Because the Eagles had him. And they had him. No, not the Eagles one. Not the Eagles one. The one with the 49ers the second time.
Yeah.
The one with the 49ers the second time. That was the one. The one in Las Vegas. That was the one that I think put him at a different light. Because you win that Super Bowl and it's on you. Like we need you to win this game for us, and he did, bro. He did. But another Super Bowl I watched as a hater that I really love, man, was the Saints winning.
That's another really because come on, Cam. Like you go in the halftime, like, man, New Orleans could come back and win this game. But the ballsiest call in NFL history is starting off the second half with an onside kick. Nobody in their right mind is doing that, bro. And when I've seen that, I don't know what your expression was. I'm like, yo, because you couldn't tell until he went to take off. I'm like, wait, he's onside kick. Oh my gosh. And the ball comes out, Chris Reese falls on him like, yo. Like you don't win that game without that play. You just don't, because Indianapolis they have the momentum. But man, the second matchup with the Eagles and Patriots, that was a really good game too. Nick Foles comes in, that was poetic. That's Brady's best Super Bowl performance ever, and he lost. Dude threw for like over 500 yards and lost. That was a really good game.
Yeah, man, but the Saints winning was different, man, because when
you're supposed to be there.
Not necessarily supposed to be there, because I will say y'all earned the right to be there.
Yeah, but historically speaking,
speaking, y'all was trash. Like it was terrible, bro. It was some dark times to be a Saints fan, man. And even off the football field, right? Katrina was fucking crazy, bro. So to see all of that kind of just wiped away in one moment, like, okay, like everybody won that day. Like usually motherfuckers win a Super Bowl, and if you're a fan, right, and you're not in the city or whatever, right, the city wins, right? But truthfully, everybody in the city won.
The whole state.
The whole state won. You know what I'm saying? And you rarely have a moment like that.
Because that was a team that you just felt like it was never like when we look at stuff now, Cam, you see these teams that like never win. And the Saints were in that boat was just like they're just never gonna do it. And to see a rebuild turn out like that was within 4 years, because the Saints hit the NFC Championship in year 1, which nobody's seen that coming because they were 3-13 the year before with Jim Haslett. And then they go, like, I think, back-to-back 7-9 seasons. I think after that, and then obviously you turn around, go 13-3, and run the table. Like, that's a drastic difference, you know?
Yeah, man. Like that everybody won on that Super Bowl, bro. And that's what felt real good.
That pick by Tracy Porter? That was crazy, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the thing, man. And I watched that Super Bowl as a hater because I was like, man, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? But then after I got older, I was like, you know what? I should have watched it in a different light. And I watched that Super Bowl back on YouTube one day, like in full. And I was like, you know what?
Doing that.
That was a good moment, bro. That was a real good moment. And one moment, man, that I love rewatching, man. It's a Super Bowl that's a blowout. But Doug Williams becoming the first black like Super Bowl MVP, bro. That was crazy. Because you would think like, oh man, people forget Doug Williams was a first round pick, bro.
And he really didn't do anything for a while.
No, but he got the Bucks to the NFC title game, bro. Mm-hmm. So, like, and a contract dispute kind of fucked that whole situation up. But if you know the Bucks, their owner at that time was really cheap. And he fucked the team up by fucking up Bo Jackson, right? His situation. Yep. So he really fucked the team up both ways. You had your franchise quarterback in Doug Williams, and you could have had Ricky Bell and Bo Jackson in the backfield in an era where you run the ball. Ricky Bell was finished second in the Heisman, first overall pick, and then you got fucking Bo Jackson too. Yeah. That shit would have been crazy, bro. So, but he fucked the team up. But Doug Williams kind of going through that, you know what I'm saying? Because he, nobody really ain't want him to start, and he just stayed ready. And he led the team, bro. And he wasn't, like I said, Doug Williams wasn't the greatest quarterback ever, right? But in that moment, man, it sure as hell felt like it. Like he carved up Denver's defense, bro, left and right. Now, a good offensive line does help, but like he carved that team up that day. It seemed like nothing he could do was wrong, So
it's something I do envy. There's one thing my team has obviously had more Super Bowl success than yours, but you know something I envy? You don't know what it's like to take a tragic loss in the Super Bowl. Like Baltimore's 2-0. So like when you go into the Super Bowl and you feel like he brought up the 2007 team, I'm not gonna say there wasn't any doubt in my mind, but a lot of guys were like, man, we're about to witness history. Like we're gonna witness it. And to lose like that sucked. Like sucked so bad. And then you get a second crack at it in 2011 or 2012, whatever year it was, I forget. But you think they're going to get it done this time. And they just find a way to do it again. And then it's like you go into that Seattle game and you feel like you're about to experience it again down to the freaking one of the last plays, obviously, where he throws the pick. We're going to feel it again. Like, we're just not going to be able to get it done again. And then, obviously, everything changed when, Pete Carroll gave us the freebie. So,
yeah. He gave you the Scrabble free spot.
Man, you remember watching? I remember watching a weird matchup was Chicago and Indianapolis. 06?
Yeah, but I mean Prince was the halftime show, so that shit was fucking lit.
Yeah, like when the halftime show was still good.
Yeah, so like I said, I don't know what they're gonna do. Like I don't know how Bad Bunny. Like, all right, so here's my thing about Bad Bunny, and it's not like. Oh, like the Trump thing where it's like he's not American and all that shit.
Yeah, he wanted to address on that crazy stuff.
Yeah, like they talking crazy shit like that. Like my whole thing about it is he doesn't really have no songs in English.
You don't resonate with the majority of everybody.
Like, how are you gonna have a show with somebody that has like majority songs in Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I get it. You had J Lo and you had Shakira that year, right? But they got a bunch of songs in English that are hits.
We just need to get Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake. That'd be a great idea.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
We were kids when that happened, bro. Like, what's going on?
Yo, her titty came out. Yo, I was watching that shit. I was like, yo, her titty came out.
I'm like, yo, that wasn't supposed to happen.
I was like, that's a part of the performance. And I like it. Can they do that again?
You got like DVR and you go back and try to pause.
You're like, yo, rewind that. So
I'm trying to see what's going on, bro.
Yo, he's like, I'm gonna have you naked by the end of this song. And he meant that shit. He meant that shit.
You know a game that didn't live up to the hype, I feel like? And a game like, I'm not an Aaron Rodgers hater per se, but Green Bay, like, they beat Pittsburgh in that Super Bowl, which I thought Pittsburgh was going to give them a better game. But, man, I just thought Green Bay was going to get back at some point. Like, they were just too good. Like, and they just couldn't get back. Like, that's a big-time what if for me.
Well, I mean, if you talk about what ifs, man, what if the Ravens just give, Trent Dilfer what he asked for? Right? I mean, like, not looking at it like
not in a stupid sense. I get what you mean.
Like what I honestly don't know what he asked for, right? But dude stabilized us on offense. Like, it wasn't like he was overbearingly good, right?
No, but he didn't turn the ball over.
But he was better than Tony Banks, bro. Okay. All right. And that consistency on offense led us to the Super Bowl, right? Because we had one of the best defense, if not the best defense of all time, right? So even at 12-4 or whatever, we still had to go on the wild card. We wasn't the best team.
What a crazy quarterback matchup. Kerry Collins and Trent Dilfer.
Yo, and Kerry Collins was like kind of good, bro. Like, he was so good. Like, being a top 5 draft pick, like, going through what he went through, like the Carolina years, and then going to New York,
Tennessee,
and going to Tennessee and shit. And
he was good in Tennessee.
He was good Oakland too.
Yeah.
Like, but Oakland just trash. But like, he was good, man. So like, he was actually one of those ones, right? But to see Trent Dilfer being like the first overall pick or whatever he was, and being terrible to the point where
just keep talking.
Where you gotta get him off the scrap heap. Like, you gotta get him out of the lineup.
That's why I take offense to guys like putting Drake May in that same boat. Like, the disrespect. Like, Cam Newton is peanut butter and jealous. Like you can't tell me a guy who's probably going to finish second MVP voting and completing over 70% of his passes. You're going to tell me that he's not a main reason this team has made it to this point. You know what I mean? Like, it's just ignorant.
Nah, man, you get, like I said, you get a Super Bowl like that. Like, I just want to know what he asked for and why the answer was no. You know,
was it like an outrageous number?
I don't know, bro. I still don't know. I gotta find it, because like, no way you release a guy that just won a Super Bowl. Like,
that's never happened. It never happened.
It never happened again either.
And it happened immediately after. Like, that's immediately.
What I'm saying. So I don't know what the I
can't imagine he asked for top. I highly doubt he asked for top quarterback money. I just don't see it.
Considering
how good the defense was.
Considering how he talks now, I think he probably tried to.
You think he tried to get top dollar?
I think he tried to make his importance of that Super Bowl win a little bit more than it was.
And I get it. Fight for your case. Try to get paid. But, like, come on, man. It's one of the best defenses ever.
Like, dude, do you know how good our defense was after that?
That's why. But I'm just saying. But like knowing the situation it was in, like you can only push back so much. You know what I mean? Like, and if that was the case, that's pretty freaking nuts, if you ask me.
Like, think about all the great defenses in like history, bro. Like, you look at the '85 Bears, they only got one, right? The fucking Legion of Boom, they only got one. You know, then you look at us, we only got one. Right now, we still had Ray and fucking Ed, but Ed wasn't a part of that first one.
Nope, neither was Terrell Suggs.
Yeah, so I'm saying that was a whole different collective.
That was just a waste. That was a waste of talent. Because the Ravens defense kept them in contention every year. Like, imagine if y'all would have. Well, imagine if y'all would have got McNair like 4 years earlier. That's a major difference maker. You got him at the tail end. If you would have got him like y'all got him at what? Y'all got him at what, like 05?
Yeah,
or
05,
06? Okay, imagine if you get him in like 2001. That's that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, I mean, you think of those kind of defenses, man. They don't necessarily, like I said, you can't just you can't piece together cohesiveness like that. You know, that's why I was sitting there thinking, like, man, the Seahawks got such a good defense this year. You gotta win this year because a lot of pieces are going to be taken from you, whether it be free agency, natural regression of players, right? You know, you can't expect DeMarcus Lawrence to put a year like this together again, right? So you gotta get it when you got it, you know. So
and another matchup that like I felt like it was underrated and kind of sucked losing was New England in the '90s playing Green Bay with Reggie White, because New England had a good squad. We had a really good team.
Y'all was just dumb.
We just ran into the wrong team. Like,
no, y'all was stupid. Why the fuck would you kick the Desmond Howard anyway? Like, you dumb. He was cold. Like, bro, he was nasty.
Our core was in there. Like, our core was still so young. Like Brewski, Law,
stupid good,
and Bledsoe was still young. I think we had Curtis Morton still at that point, if I'm not mistaken. Like,
yeah, you had Terry Glenn too, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean,
Bing Coates.
Yeah, and you had a young Willis McGahee too. I think not Willis McGahee, Willis McGinnis. I'm sorry,
McGinnis, Brewski, Ty Law, Lawyer Malloy.
Yeah, the law firm. So yeah, like y'all had a good team, but y'all was just stupid on special teams. That was dumb. You do already return one. You get no love a second time. Like, that's the Bears learned their lesson when the Colts learned their lesson when
they kicked Devin Hester that one time. Like, nope, not again.
Like, nah, bro, you didn't touch the ball at all.
We're gonna squib it, bro. Yeah, squib a pooch kick
for the rest of the game, bro. Like,
you gonna give us a chance?
Crazy. I was like, yo, I ain't never seen nobody lock in like that on the fucking special teams, bro. Like, yo, 2 kick returns for a touchdown.
I think we definitely could have won that game.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. But what's crazy is Brett Favre only got 1.
3 consecutive MVPs too.
Yeah,
but what killed Favre at the end, like in the last 5 years or so, they were there. The year before he left, they were in the NFC Championship game, and he freaking threw them out of the damn game. I'm like, Brett, what are you freaking doing, bro?
Yeah, bro.
Like, some of those throws, like, I get it, you're gunslinger, you gotta make a play, but I'm like, yo, what are you doing, dude? And that's why no sense. And that's what pisses me off. It's like, man, like, people disrespect you so much, like they don't realize how good you were, but because of dumb shit like that, Brett. Like, what the fuck are we doing, bro?
Yeah, bro.
Because realistically, Favre probably should have had at least 3 or 4. Like, let's just be real. Brett Favre should have had probably 3 or 4 rings easily. Like, that freaking year that Vic went in the Lambeau and beat them, that shouldn't have happened. The Packers should have probably ran the table. Like, they could have had a chance to run the table that year.
Yeah, the Eagles when they played y'all in that Super Bowl, man, that defense was crazy, bro. Like, that dude, Lito Shepherd, fucking Javon Curse.
Yep. Yeah, we had Asante Samuel. They had
then
Corey Simon.
We had Corey Simon,
Ryan Dawkins.
Like, yo,
Jeremiah Trotter.
I don't know if Jeremiah Trotter was.
He was.
Yeah, so like that defense was crazy, bro.
Our defense was nasty too.
And that's why I was watching that Super Bowl, and my grandpa at the time, he was like, I got Patriots. I was like, man, I like their defense, man. And hey,
they were both star-studded on defense, both teams.
Yeah, bro.
That was crazy.
Why, like, when people talk about Tom Brady's greatness, I only count one of those first ones as really being him.
But right? Like, who doesn't get enough credit though in that game? T.O. He played with a freaking injury, and he went off. Mm-hmm. He went off. That's why I hate when people dog out T.O. like he's not a top 2 or 3 guy ever. Like, what are we talking about? He was hurt, and he freaking went for like over $150, bro. He balled out.
Man, dog.
Like, T.O. was that dude.
Different, dog.
Like, I feel like T.O. is one of the closest things you ever get to Jerry Rice. Like, T.O. is that guy. Like
I don't really. All right, so look, Jerry Rice kind of to me is in his own class of receiver, right? When you talk about longevity, route running, hands, everything, I just it's not, you can't compare him to anybody, right? So when I think of Terrell Owens, I think of guys with physicalness, right? And I think when you think about receivers like that, you gotta go back a little bit, man. Like I think he might have been kind of the first of his kind, bro.
Because his route running was on point. He was fast. He was physical, and he was a walking bucket. Yeah, he was big.
How many receivers back in the day matched that though?
Nobody. He was a specimen.
I think, okay, if I'm really being honest, all right, I could say Sterling Sharp was that first big receiver that
6'3", 224.
All right, that's so solid. How big was Sterling Sharp?
He was 6 foot 207.
So that's like a good comp a little bit, but I can't imagine. I don't really know anybody big and fast like that.
Dude, how many double-digit touchdown seasons he had? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 double-digit touchdown seasons, with the most being 16 in 2001.
Yeah, bro.
That was a career.
T.O. was different, dog. So,
I hate the hate because people are like, oh, he's this and he's that. I think people got him completely wrong. People act like he's drama and he's this and that. I'm like, no. When you got someone who wants to win that bad, wants to compete that bad, yeah, he's gonna be on everybody's ass when they're not competing like him because he want to win that bad. Yeah, the Bills screwed the pooch.
That was bad, bro.
Well, that was the catalyst to the other 3.
Yeah, what's crazy is that was the closest one after that.
That's I'm saying that was the catalyst to what opened up everything because
they got smoked by Washington and they got smoked by Dallas every time after that. That was the closest one.
Oh, bro, remember when San Diego made the Super Bowl back then and how they got freaking decimated?
Oh my God. That was terrible. Even Dion said, man, we ain't worried about no goddamn Chargers.
Oh my God.
We ain't worried about no goddamn Chargers.
Man.
Super Bowl, he's like, our Super Bowl was last week.
We've seen mismatches or teams where they were so good but they ran into the wrong team. We talked about Marino last week. He ran into the wrong team. I think if they would have ran into anybody else, Marino wins the Super Bowl. You wasn't getting past that 49ers team.
No, that like I told you before, that was
the 15-1 team.
Best team.
So I said if Marino wins that game, the trajectory of his career is completely different. It's whatever you think, bro. It's whatever you think.
Good, man.
But we've seen some crazy ones. Just games that we thought wouldn't be really good and they end up being really bad. Like you see Atlanta make the Super Bowl in the 90s when Minnesota would have been Minnesota and Denver would have been a crazy game. Randall Cunningham versus John Elway. Come on. What?
Yeah, that would have been lit.
Oh my gosh, that would have been a firefight, bro. They would have been slinging the ball everywhere. Like I understand they were handing Davis the ball, but Minnesota could score, bro.
Shit. Fuck, never mind. That would have been Atlanta, man. But fuck, man. Yeah, they had a good team, bro.
Like that's, but like think of years that we would have got crazy games. Well, think of 2018, the freaking no call. You would have got a Breeze and Brady Super Bowl. That would have been a crazy game too. Like so many times, like we were so close to getting these crazy games, and then someone drops the ball or something stupid happens, and then we miss out, and then we get something that we didn't want.
Yeah, shit, man. Marty Ball, man. 04, the Chargers won like 14 games.
They fired him after too.
Yeah, it would have been good, dog. That would.
But look at them in 06 when freaking LT broke the freaking touchdown record. They were really good.
Yeah.
And they freaking fell short to New England. And they were at home. They were in San Diego. No, the 14 team was good.
Though.
Yeah.
04 was crazy, bro. They was just a machine, man. I think Drew Brees was still there. So
he got injured in that Denver game. When they had that fumble, he dove on the fumble and he tore his rotator cuff. And it ruined that. Like that was how good that team was.
Man, that was a good team, bro. But what's crazy is the soundbite before the game, bro. Dude, Marty told him, hey, make sure if y'all pick the ball off, get down. They be snatching the ball away from defenders. He told the dude that before the game. And then he picked the ball off. And Troy Brown stole it. And I was like, yo, how can you tell you not paying attention to the coach? He told you that. Get the fuck out.
We missed out on a lot of crazy Super Bowls, though. Definitely missed out on a few really good ones, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first classic Super Bowl, because you can go Super Bowl III. That would have been probably the first classic because nobody thought the AFL had teams that could win, right? Mm-hmm. And then the next classic, in my opinion, would probably have been Dallas versus Pittsburgh. That shootout that ended when dude dropped the ball in the end zone.
Oh, what was his freaking name? I forget his name.
Patrick Smith.
Yeah. Oh, he should have had that. You couldn't get no easier than that, bro. He put it right in your freaking bread basket, bro.
Right in the bread basket, man. So that's one. Another classic, man. Niners and the Cincinnati. That was
and the Bengals had a really good team. Well, both of those teams when they made it, when they had Ken Anderson and when they had freaking Boomer, both of those teams were really freaking good.
Yep. So, but if you know the history of the Niners and Bill Walsh, right? He took those games real personal.
that year that Young won his first MVP was at 94. That team didn't make it to the Super Bowl. They should have went when they lost to Dallas. They should have went to the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah. What's the name? Like I said, man, Bill Walsh took those games personal, man, because if you think about it, Ken Anderson was the quarterback when Bill Walsh was there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Bill Walsh wanted to be the OC, and Paul Brown wouldn't let him. Now, for whatever reason, we don't really know. Maybe he just felt like he wasn't ready. But you can't tell me that you bring in a guy, he is, smart enough to take what you had and build on something else. Because I tell people all the time, right? When looking at how good Greg Cook was going to be that generation's next big star because he had everything. He was big, he had a big arm, he had everything, right? But they have modern medicine, right? So you tear your rotator cuff, that's your career's done after that, right? So Greg Cook is out, right? He doesn't play anymore. He builds an offense around a guy that doesn't have a big arm, right? And it goes through the roof. And then you get Ken Anderson, right? Who's a better version of that. You blow the fuck up, right? So you can't tell me Bill Walsh isn't responsible for that. Let him be the OC. You let him go. He builds that offense, right? He takes his talents to Stanford, goes to the Chargers, gets more elements from Coryell, right? And now we take that along with what he know. That's what you get with the 49ers, bro. A systematic offense that just attack you at every level.
Imagine had he been there longer at San Fran. Like, they still had success after, but I'm saying, imagine if he would have been there for even longer, like, if age and time wasn't an issue.
Why he left, though? That's crazy. You got 3, so what? Let's get some more.
Another big what if is that debacle in Dallas, bro. Jimmy Johnson wins back-to-back, and then you get stuck in that situation.
Yeah, they ain't seen no Super Bowl since.
They ain't sniffed one. They ain't sniffed no playoff wins either.
They ain't sniffed shit, bro.
They dusted off them VHS tapes.
All because of ego.
And don't get me wrong, they're like, oh, Jimmy Johnson walked away. I'm like, it ain't as simple as something like that, bro. Like, that ain't how it went down.
Fuck no. Jimmy Johnson wouldn't have just walked away unless he felt
there was a reason.
Disrespect.
And then he goes to Miami, and he still has decent success over there with Marino. Now, they changed the whole offense around because they viewed Marino as like an aged asset. So they changed the way the offense ran, because before that, Marino was calling all the plays. Well, he was throwing the ball 50 freaking times a game. He's like, nah, we're going to do what the hell I want to do. Like, Shula let him do what he wanted.
Shit, that's another motherfucker that need to be studied in NFL history, bro. Shula, dog. Shula was good. Shula was in Super Bowls way before he started winning them in Miami. Because people forget he was the coach of the Colts that lost that Super Bowl to the Jets, right?
With Johnny U.
Yeah, man. But like I said, Don Shula was coaching for a long motherfucking time, bro. Like he was young when he coached the damn Colts, man. And then he go to Miami, which is perfect. He getting some sun, everything, right? Building like crazy teams, bro.
Imagine if you had Marino. Imagine if you had Marino in that era, like a guy like that, like a Dan Fouts, Marino type of quarterback like that. That time, oh, that's over with, bro. Nobody's stopping you. And with the running backs you got, nobody's stopping you, bro.
Shit, that's kind of what happened with motherfucking with the Steelers, bro. The Steelers had so much damn talent, right? People forget Terry Bradshaw, as inaccurate as he was. He let that motherfucker go. Okay, he could throw that ball.
He could sling it, bro.
He could sling it.
And that's in an era where he had to call his plays. And he called his own plays.
Yeah, he called his own plays. I mean, I guess Joe Namath tried to, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know, but I think the biggest one, man. The biggest one that I think about, is just what the Bengals would have been with Bill Walsh, man.
Oh my gosh. It would be the complete opposite of an organization right now. Had they not messed that up, like
I just can't understand what you were thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, just at that particular moment in time, right? You've been doing something the same way for a while, right? If you're Paul Brown, right? Like, nobody can talk about Paul Brown at all, right? He's one of the most important innovators in football, period, right? Elements, rule changes, all kind of health and safety. Like, he's one of those ones, right? But sometimes you outsmart yourself sometimes. And I think that was one of those moments, man. But I think if you think about it, he kind of needed to leave to grow, right? And I think that's one of those ones, man. I think that's the tough one, man. You look at guys that had to leave to get one. You think about Andy Reid, like he had Philly on the road.
Yeah, they were always in the AFC Championship game.
Always, and then he left, and he got him one.
I mean, he had to rebuild the Chiefs team too. The Chiefs team was in bad shape.
Yeah, they fixed it. That was left him in a bad spot, bro. They was like 2-14. I was like, yo.
You know something I thought about? We dog out Cleveland all the time, but that year in the AFC Championship game when Duke fumbled the ball at the goal line, who would they have played in the Super Bowl that year? Who was that? Because they lost to Denver in that game. Was that? I'm trying to think of who that was they would have played.
I think that was 86, so that would have been the Giants.
They wouldn't have fared too well against them. I wouldn't think.
They wouldn't have beat them, bro. I'm sorry.
At least they would have made it. That was when they had Bernie.
Yeah, they would have made it, but they would have got beat too. They got that Giants team in the 80s that won. That was a different breed. Now the team that won in the 90s was still good, but the 80s they were hungry. Yeah, they was hungry, bro. Harry Carson and fucking Lawrence Taylor, bro. Like, and Phil Simms actually was like the shit, bro. Like yo, that's one of the performers don't nobody talk about. Dude was like 24 of 26, bro. Passing. Like he was systematically, he was destroying the Bills that day. Like that shit was fucking nuts. So like, yeah, so that's crazy, bro. Shit. But like I said, man, we're gonna have a lot of time to talk Super Bowl, man. Like I said, our Super Bowl live stream, man. Hopefully I understand what Bad Bunny's saying because I think he have a good ass show. But I don't fucking know. I don't know how they're gonna do that shit, man. But that's what Jay-Z wants to do since he's the guy that does the halftime show now. But I don't know, man. I just like I said, I like some of Bad Bunny songs, but I just don't know what he's saying. Like they're good, but I don't know. But like I said, we'll see how that goes, man. But anything you gotta say for the people?
Wait, do you have anything? Do you have anything else with the slideshow? Or are you gonna take that down? Or
oh shit,
I just thought about it.
There we go.
Yeah. So if you like this kind of content, make sure to like, follow, subscribe. YouTube is the biggest cash cow right now, doing really good there. But also check us out on TikTok, X, Instagram, Twitch for all of our live streams and game streams. If you like our shows as well and you want to listen to the audio and you don't have like YouTube Premium, make sure to check us out on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon. Like he said before, a lot more Super Bowl content coming. But if you want some guys to hang out with this coming Sunday for the big game, we will be live from start to finish, from first quarter to fourth quarter through the halftime show, everything. We will be here. So if you want to come hang out, talk some ball, and see what happens, see if we win our 7th ring or we see the Seahawks get a win, come. You know, it's going to be a little earlier than usual, but we just started doing this last year. I thought it was really fun. We had a really good time. So if you want to watch Super Bowl 60 with us, hang out, let's shoot the shit, let's just have a good time. Make sure to check us out for the live stream. We'll be live the entire time.
Yep. We gonna be good, man. So, like I said, man, music is good. We're gonna keep on doing what we've been doing. New project coming out on February 11th. We'll have a show. We'll have a show before that, so that'd be cool. Y'all gonna see that all the time, man. So we good there, man. I'm starting this new thing right on Instagram, where I make like shorts of reels and people of fun people that we really don't talk about, man. You know, some people you do, some people you don't, but really highlight those players and how good they really were. So it's kind of an off-season thing that I'm working on and I'm gonna keep on doing. So y'all check it out, man. We'll put a link in the description and we'll get that going, man.
Are the views pretty good on that?
Shit, kinda, man.
I'll tell you, they probably like it on our Instagram too.
Man, we can see. I don't know how to link all that for real, but we can find it out though. But I don't know. But like I said, just some trying new shit. So we'll see. We'll see what's up, man. The road to 50,000 is on and cracking. So we hope to gain a lot more of you guys, man. So but that's pretty much it, though. Like I said, we will see y'all next Sunday, man. Same time, same place.
Well, not the same time, Super Bowl live stream, but same place.
Oh shit, that's right. But
we're gonna be having an extended live stream. So hey, you can show up whenever you want, but if you want to show up from jump, check us out. Have fun, stay to the end.
Yep. So we're gonna be on there. Y'all just show up. All right. The party's gonna be there. Big.
Peace.